And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, to our guest segments of Good Morning Kuwait. Now, in light of the current circumstances, education has undergone a rapid and unprecedented transformation, with distance learning becoming the primary mode for students across the country. The shift has raised important questions about quality, engagement, and the future of education. Now, in this conversation we're going to be having, we'll explore how our guest assesses the transition to online learning, with factors determine its success, and how teachers can keep students motivated in virtual classroom. We'll also discuss the psychological and social impact on students, the role of education technology, and how parents can support their children at home. We are pleased today to have with us our guest, Dr. Yousef Alenezi, Associate Professor at Department of English, College of Basic Education. Welcome on the show.
Thank you, Abdullah.
Thank you. Now, it is my understanding that you would like to say something before we begin.
Well, if you allow me, during this crisis, the attacks, we would like to pray to Allah to keep our country safe, our citizens, residents, under the leadership of His Highness the Emir, Sheikh Mishal Ahmed Jabir al-Sabah, and His Highness the Crown Prince, Sheikh Sabah al-Khalid Sabah. We faced many issues during this crisis, and great thanks goes to security forces, the National Guard, Armed Forces, Ministry of Interior, Fire Department. We faced a lot, but hopefully it will pass and it will be a memory. So inshallah, this will be just a memory, and we'll go through it.
Inshallah. And I do love how you are wearing the Arafat flower, right? Because it's a great representation for the perseverance of Kuwait, and how we are living, thankfully, alhamdulillah, in very safe conditions, considering the circumstances.
And we mentioned also, other than Kuwait, the GCC countries. We're talking about online learning. This is the main theme, but it came from a need. They say necessity is the mother of invention.
Right.
And we faced a lot in this crisis. We missed many things. In terms of logistics, we wish that there was a railway, connecting GCC countries in order to be well connected. This is another need. We missed it in this crisis.
But of course, the thing that you can, like they say, you find blessing in troubled times, that now you know where the path to go.
Yeah.
And speaking of these circumstances, this led to the rise of online education.
It is.
And have you seen, or how do you assess, the rapid shift to online, studying, online tools, online education, as opposed to regular kind of teaching?
This war is different a bit from COVID-19, which was in 2020. The thing that for that crisis, it was permanent. We knew that we're going to continue the whole semester. Yeah. Recently, a few days ago, we had a board meeting, PAT, Public Authority for Applied Education and Training, and they insisted that the time from beginning of March until 7th of April is a time of online learning.
Yeah.
If we're talking about the transition from in-person to online, it was impressive in speed. There are two ministries, related, the Ministry of Education and Ministry of Higher Education. Both ministers were responsible in the sense from day one. We shifted from in-person to online learning, and they gave their circulations about changing from in-person to online. So we're talking about the shift was impressive in speed.
Yeah, mashallah.
However, there was, as I said, it was not clear that are we going to continue the whole semester?
Yeah, that's just adapting to the circumstances, right? Yeah. But like you said, thankfully, alhamdulillah, the foundation for online learning was here, very established.
Yeah.
So whenever the decision came to switch to online, education, it was tomorrow, right? They didn't need a lot of time. It's like today we're shifted to online. Tomorrow schools were actually online. which is a great talk about the infrastructure.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of online education, like, you know, when it comes to you within the education faculty, like, how do you assess whether it's failing, whether it's succeeding, as opposed to traditional teaching, you know, whether the student is actually learning more or better during online or when they're in the physical classroom?
Whereas there is no failure. According to what we have seen, there is no failure.
Yeah.
But, you know, there were some issues and we managed to overcome them. I mean, for online, you need to have certain factors, like you need to have the device, you need to have the coverage, you need to have platforms that will assist you, training. All these factors were there. I mean, where I come from, the public authority, Dr. Hassan Al-Fajjam, immediately launched the training courses. You know, you need to be, the last crisis was 5 years ago or 6 years ago. We're talking about COVID, but and we had some incidents like heavy rain or you know, heavy fog or whatever, but it was temporary. I mean, we're talking about 1 day or 2 days, but to have it as a long term for a whole semester, we managed to, you know, pass, and it was fine for us.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. And now, you know, you did mention the COVID years. Now we're seeing a lot of the COVID graduates who are in the workforce. And, you know, thankfully, alhamdulillah, they are great. You know, they're great colleagues, great workers. So the great infrastructure is already there. Now, I do want to ask you about something, because this is a lot of my teacher friends suffer from, who are teaching classrooms from all kinds of levels. They say the hardest thing is to actually keep students engaged during the classrooms. Like, they have to constantly remind them, you know, hey Flan, hey Allan, listen here, listen there. So how do you say teachers can come up with methods to make students more engaged, more active, more listening during these online classes?
Well, it refers to the sustainability of attention. We have two approaches of learning. One is incidental, the other is intentional. And both need attention. I mean, for an incidental, I'll give you an example. Let's say I teach verb to be, am, is, are, and so on. So I give, I make them exposed to certain examples of the verb to be, but without dragging their attention that the lesson here is verb to be. Whereas an intentional, I tell them that our lesson today is verb to be, so this is direct, I mean. The thing that how to keep them motivated, how to drag their attention. I mean, we have two students. One are students of Ministry of Education, and mostly they are younger students. The other is higher education. So for children, it's very difficult to keep them attentive. I mean, even if you just like, you know, it is a big problem to them, to us actually as teachers, to keep them attentive. So we have to break segments, I mean, make periods shorter, to have other interesting, like that day I saw one of my daughters watching a song with her teacher. You have to make them attentive in the sense how to motivate them with something that they like. I mean, students like to be seen and heard. But if you just leave them following you by listening, you can't control their attention. This is what I think.
Yeah, and you know, you remind me of one of my teachers who, honestly, I still remember his classrooms, because he used to say that, you know, I'm not here to teach, I'm here to listen.
Yes.
And so all the classroom would, like, he would ask questions, and then he would like ask us to ask the questions. And there was like a back and forth kind of question, but it's all about the subject that we're learning.
It is related,
and I do remember that classroom. But like I said, when it comes to online teaching and when it comes to, you know, the students of online, now again, going back to a lot of my teacher friends, they say that, you know, they've graduated, alhamdulillah, they are okay. But now, after they got out of their online years, they have become a little bit socially awkward. You know, they have become a little bit socially, I don't want to say unwelcoming, but, you know, some type of habits that they didn't develop socially because they were, and this is go back to the COVID years, they were like a year and a half or 2 years just back at home. So now that we do know that online teaching can have some psychological or social, issues on students, what can you say is something we can have to nurture that or to, help against it?
Well, why do we prefer the in-person learning? Because there is an interaction. You feel that you're talking to someone, a human being. Someone is following you. Even now, when I'm talking to you, you are nodding with your head. There is eye contact. With the online, it is mainly being lonely. So there is an isolation in that matter. They are kept, for especially children, they are kept away, locked maybe in their rooms with no one around them. There is no interaction. So they might suffer of isolation, as you mentioned, anxiety. They feel stressful most of the time. No one is paying attention to them, being kept for, let's say, 5 to 6 hours alone. I know that there are breaks in between, but again, they are not interacting with other children, having a normal life. Yeah.
And now also, speaking about interacting with children, let's go back. Now we're done with online, teaching. We're back in the facilities. We're back in schools. We're back in universities. Would you say that universities and schools are implementing technology or great, tools within their education methods, or do you say that's something a lot of teachers lack?
Yeah, for the online and platforms, it keeps changing, technologies with the rapid change. So I think this responsibility relies on institutions mainly. They should keep updating the systems, keep training their staff. Recently we had the online training just to refresh our memories, especially for assessing, students. The most difficult issue here is how to assess them without having, cheating, plagiarism, or whatever might happen in between. So the responsibility is to keep updating your systems, your platforms. Back in COVID, we had only, let's say, one platform. You could change this platform. You could have more than one platform to teach or to have it in your learning facilities.
Yeah, and also, I think back in COVID, there was a lot of confusion about what to do, what not to do. But now you kind of know what to do.
Yes.
And now we're seeing a lot of teachers or parents adapt. Because one of my friends, and this may be, it could get him in trouble. But one of the methods he used to make sure his kid stays focused is like, for each classroom you stay focused on, you get half an hour of PlayStation time. Yeah. So this brings me to my question is that, do you have any advice or kind of advice to a lot of parents in similar situations where they have to find motivation to make their children stay and focus on their online learning process?
In terms of linguistics, we call it reinforcement. There is positive reinforcement and negative reinforcement. The positive reinforcement comes in form of praise, reward, even applause. You tell them that I will take you to the cinema, I'll take you to somewhere he or she likes. This is the positive reinforcement. The negative, of course, is the opposite. So you abandon them from going out or whatever. The responsibility on parents is to encourage their children, to reinforce them in that sense by encouraging them to be attentive with their students or schools, not to be distracted, to provide the quiet space for learning, to be there around them, but not to, to do the task on their behalf. Yeah. This is another issue. We don't want to talk about it. Yes.
Yeah, and honestly, Dr. Yousef Alenezi, I do want to thank you for being our guest today and dedicating the time. And I love how the end message for the conversation is basically it's a group effort, right? Yeah. From the parents, from the children, from the schools, from the teachers. we all got to do our parts to make sure that our children are getting great education.
Hopefully, yeah.
With that being said, I do want to thank you again for being our guest.
Thank you very much indeed. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. But also, thank you to our viewers for staying tuned, and our thanks and appreciation as well goes again to our guest, Dr. Yousef Alenezi, Associate Professor at the Department of English, College of Basic Education. We are going to take a break, so stay tuned.